So today I want to talk about a coffee that I got from Dark Matter. But before I get to actually reviewing it, I want to tell you about my experience getting the coffee, which I usually wouldn't talk about because it's pretty boring. But this was really nice, so I wanted to share. All right, so I had done some research because there was a very specific kind of coffee I wanted to get for a specific reason, which I'll get into in a minute. I drove up to one of Dark Matter's cafes, and there waiting for me was just so many adorable things, and it just made me feel good, and I wanted to share about it. So first thing is I got espresso, and I don't really ever drink espresso because I'm still getting used to it, but I thought to expand my palate, I want to do that, and in order to do that, I have to drink it. Anyways, the cutest little coffee cup. I'm sure people that drink espresso are used to this, but it's tiny and it's adorable, and I really wanted to talk about it because it's tiny and adorable and I love it. All right, second thing is, and speaking of tiny and adorable, this tiny adorable little bag. It has my coffee beans in it. It has like the Dark Matter logo on and everything. It's just smaller than a regular bag, which I know sounds stupid, except for I think it's adorable. So in order, my tiny espresso cup, my tiny bag, and of course, when you buy a bag of beans, you get a free coffee, which I think a lot of people do that. But honestly, it was just nice. It was just a nice experience to roll up to a cafe, and which is not something that has happened for a while because I haven't been able to have a nice experience at a cafe because nobody's been able to have nice experience at cafes. So it was just a really good feeling that I hadn't had for a while, and I really wanted to share. Now I will get to my beans and why I chose these beans. All right, so the coffee that I am doing this week is from, as I said, Dark Matter, and it is Mad West. And I wasn't going to do Dark Matter for a little bit because I think they're another big Chicago coffee roaster, which I do want to get around to them, and I'm excited to get around to them. I just didn't want to get around to them right now. However, right now I've been, like a lot of people, binging the Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, which makes me think about basketball. So right now, it is the biggest basketball, or it just ended, was a really big basketball thing in basketball fans' world. And usually there would be another big basketball thing happening this time of year, which would be the playoffs and the finals. And as a basketball fan, I am very sad that that's not happening right now. And so I just have kind of a basketball-shaped hole in my heart, which would be dangerous. I'd heard that Dark Matter, I know that they have a shop in the United Center, which is where the Bulls play. And so I was like, this is an excuse to like blend two of my favorite things, coffee, basketball. So that is why I got the Mad West. So another reason I'm excited to do Dark Matter is because they have a very distinct graphic design on all of their bags. Like they have a very distinct voice. It's just very like loud, and it's just really unique when I feel like a lot of coffee branding can be like a little subdued. They definitely are not that. And like I said, I'll probably end up making another video because I wasn't planning on doing that, and I will dive more into that when I get around to it. But I do want to talk about this particular Mad West's design on this particular bag. It has this kind of metallic sheen on it, which I think looks really sharp, and the bright red outlined with the white just really makes it pop. It also has, of course, the Bulls on it, which is really cool because, that's the Chicago team. The Chicago basketball team is the Bulls. It looks really sharp. And this particular design, was designed by a local Chicago artist, which I think is just like real badass. That it's just very Chicago, like a Chicago roaster, a Chicago artist about a Chicago team. I love it. I think it's wonderful. I love it so much. I'm going to attempt to pronounce it. Caesar Prez, spelled CZRPRZ. Yeah, it's just really interesting, and I am totally digging this. I think it's just a really badass looking bag, and I'm super into it. So now I'm gonna go get my stuff and see how it tastes. All right, so I have all my stuff here. So obviously I have the Mad West, and then I am going to be comparing it to the Intelligentsia, the Persephone that I had last week. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so I have 12 grams of ground coffee, and I'm going to pour in 200 milliliters of hot water. Then I have my Persephone. I'm going to let these set for 4 minutes. Set timer for 4 minutes.
Okay, 4 minutes and counting.
So I'm going to try the Mad West. To me, it already has like a really light mouth feel, like light texture, light body. Pretty tart up front, and then it has like like a chocolate aftertaste for sure. So this is the Persephone. Just kind of first thoughts. So I would say the Persephone is a pretty light roast from what I gather. I will look it up to double check, but just taste wise, it's, when I did it the last time, like it's just a light coffee or a lighter coffee to me. Like light, and what I'm getting compared to the Mad West is it's sweeter, which doesn't mean worse. It's just like, it's definitely sweeter. Like this one is a little more, it doesn't have that jamminess that some of the other coffees have had. This one's definitely just like a little brighter and like has that strong fruit taste. Whereas this one, it has a different kind of taste. Like it definitely has a taste because of course it does. It's just a little harder to pin down. It's good. It's definitely heavier. And it has the chocolateness. Like the chocolate for sure pulls through at the end like a lot. It's not super heavy, but it's definitely like, I would say medium. So definitely heavier than the Persephone, which is, like I said, pretty light. So I am going to try this one more time. Am I getting grape? I could be totally off on that because it's not apple, but it's not jammy, but it's not like bright like apple, but it's like it's for sure like a fruit taste, I feel like. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna, I don't like to look at the descriptions of the coffees before I try them because I want to do a blind test and see what I get before I like look at the answers and cheat. So I've had a chance to try it. I'm having like a little bit of trouble like describing what I'm tasting. So I'm gonna take a minute and look at what the description of the Mad West is, or like what taste notes that Dark Matter put on the bag, so I kind of can maybe like put the puzzle pieces together to complete the picture a little bit. All right, so I looked it up on their website and it said juicy red fruit and dark chocolate profile, which totally checks out, especially the dark chocolate. And then it said it has like some like hints of honey essentially. Yeah, it's interesting. It's good. It's just, it definitely has, it has the chocolate at the end, which I've said like a million times. And I guess I could see like a juicy red fruit, but not like the bright, like super bright crispness, I guess, as I would associate with like biting into an apple. But it's not, like I said, it's brighter, but just not super bright. I don't know. It's not terribly acidic either. It does lean like a little bit of sweet, like a little sweeter. So while it's not, I don't think quite as sweet as this one is, it is sweet, like a sweeter for sure. It's not like it's totally like bitter. So I can see like where they get the honey from for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. It's good. I don't really, this one's a little confounding. I think it's good for me as far as like, I feel like the first three I did were like pretty, having the three there were like pretty distinct, whereas this one I like because it's giving me more of a challenge. Like I'm having to think a little bit more about it and like really examine like what I'm tasting, which is what I was trying to get out of it. So it's overall good coffee. Love the design, love thinking about the United Center because I love thinking about basketball. So I will, leave you with that. And then, until next time, thank you so much for watching.